I carry a lot today. It's a thought that settles deep in our bones. A quiet, heavy truth many of us have carried at some point in our lives. You do not have to carry it alone. The world often tells us to be strong, to push through, to keep our struggles hidden behind a brave face. We learn that vulnerability is a liability, that admitting we are struggling is a sign of failure. So we armor up. We pretend we are fine when we are crumbling inside. We say I'm good when what we really mean is I'm drowning. This isolation is one of the most painful parts of the struggle. The mistaken belief that our experience is unique and shameful. It has a lie that depression tells us, a cruel trick that keeps us locked away from the very thing that could heal us, human connection. Many of us feel it. It's the feeling of watching the world move on from behind a thick pane of glass. You see the joy, you see the laughter, you see the living, but you can't quite touch it. It's a profound loneliness that can exist even when you are surrounded by people. The truth is, feeling this way is part of the human experience, but it's not a place we are meant to stay forever. Recognizing the weight is the first brave step toward learning how to set it down, even if just for a moment. The journey back to ourselves doesn't start with a giant leap. It begins with a single courageous breath. It starts with the willingness to acknowledge the weight without judgment. A famous voice in therapy, Carl Rogers, gave us a beautiful roadmap when he said, "This isn't about surrendering to the darkness. It's about turning toward it with compassion, with the understanding that this is not about weakness. It is about truth. It is about extending the same kindness to yourself that you would offer to a friend who is hurting." Let's talk about what this is. Depression can feel like a heavy, persistent fog that rolls in and obscures the landscape of your life. It can sap your energy until getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain. Visual metaphor. Getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain. It can steal your interest in the hobbies, passions, people you once loved, leaving a hollow echo where joy used to be. You might feel a deep, unshakable sadness without a clear reason. Or you might feel a disquieting numbness, a total absence of feeling. These are not character flaws. They are signs. They are real, and they are telling you that something needs attention and care. It's crucial to understand that depression is a legitimate health condition, not a personal failing. Let that number sink in. It's not a small, isolated group of people. This statistic tells a powerful story. You are not alone in this struggle. It means that people you know, your neighbors, your colleagues, your friends, may be walking a similar path, even if they hide it well. This isn't a statistic to make us feel hopeless. It's one to make us feel connected in our shared humanity and to erase the stigma that keeps so many suffering in silence. So if it's not weakness, what is it? Depression is not a choice. It is not a lack of willpower or a sign of a negative attitude. It is a complex interplay of biological, psychological, and social factors. It's a health issue, just like diabetes or heart disease, and it requires and deserves compassionate care. Blaming yourself for feeling depressed is like blaming yourself for catching a cold. It's an illness, not a moral report card. Letting go of that self-blame is one of the most powerful acts of self-compassion you can practice on your healing journey. The renowned psychologist Carl Jung once said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." This quote isn't about ignoring the pain or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging that while our experiences and our biology may contribute to our struggle, they do not have the final say. We have a choice in how we respond. We can choose to take one small step, to try one new tool, to reach out for one moment of connection. Our power lies in the small, brave choices we make each day to move toward healing. Why does depression happen? There is rarely a single, neat answer. More often, it starts from a tangled web of many things, big and small. They accumulate over time. Life can push and push until our capacity to cope is overwhelmed. Significant loss and the heavy weight of grief can create a deep well of sadness. That well is difficult to climb out of. The relentless, chronic stress from work, school, family responsibilities can slowly erode our emotional reserves, leaving us depleted and vulnerable. These are not small things. They are heavy loads anyone would struggle to carry indefinitely. Loneliness is another powerful contributor, acting like fertilizer for pain. In our hyper-connected world, it's shockingly easy to feel profoundly disconnected. True connection requires vulnerability. When we are hurting, being vulnerable can feel terrifying. So we retreat. Retreat deepens isolation and strengthens the grip of depression. Sleep problems also play a critical role. A tired mind is not a resilient mind. Without restorative sleep, Our brain can't regulate mood or process emotions well. That makes daily stressors much harder to handle. Biology and genetic predispositions can also set the stage. Some of us have a family history of depression. Brain chemistry, hormones, other physiological factors can create biological vulnerability. Combined with life stressors, that vulnerability can trigger a depressive episode. This is not a life sentence. It's a piece of the puzzle. Understanding our biology helps us seek the right support. Lifestyle changes, therapy, medication, without shame. Finally, habits and patterns of thinking can keep the cycle alive. Ruminating on negative thoughts, harsh self-criticism, withdrawing from social activities, each fuels a feedback loop of hopelessness. These are often learned ways of coping with past pain. The good news, learned behaviors can be unlearned. We can gently question negative thoughts. We can practice self-compassion instead of self-attack. And slowly, intentionally, choose behaviors that nurture our well-being instead of deepening our pain. There is hope. There are simple, tangible things we can do every single day to support our minds and bodies. These steps are not magic ones. They will not fix everything overnight. But healing is not about one grand gesture. It's about the accumulation of small, gentle, consistent acts of self-care. Small steps add up to big changes over time. So let's talk about 5 calm, practical tools you can try, starting right now, right where you are. These are anchors you can hold on to when the fog feels thick and disorienting. First, just breathe. This tool is always with you. Try a simple, calming breathing practice. Find a comfortable place to sit or lie down. Gently close your eyes if that feels safe. Breathe in through your nose for a slow count of 4. Hold that breath gently for a count of 2. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. The longer exhale helps to activate your body's relaxation response. Repeat this simple cycle 5 times. Slow, intentional breaths send a signal to your nervous system that you are safe, calming the body and the mind. Third, move your body gently. Movement is a powerful antidote to the stagnation of depression. It releases endorphins, the brain's natural mood lifters. You don't need to run a marathon. The goal is gentle movement, not strenuous exercise. Try walking for just 10 minutes around the block, put on one of your favorite songs and dance in the living room. Or simply stand up and stretch your arms toward the ceiling. Any movement, no matter how small, can help to shift your physical and emotional state, lifting a heavy mood, even if only slightly. Fourth, honor your need for sleep. Sleep is when your brain does its most important healing and repair work. But depression often disrupts it. To support better rest, try to create a simple bedtime ritual. Go to bed around the same time each night. Make your bedroom as dark and quiet as possible. A crucial step is to turn off all screens, phones, tablets, TVs, at least an hour before you plan to sleep. The blue light from screens interferes with your body's production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. Good sleep is not a luxury. It is a fundamental pillar of mental health. The fifth tool, and perhaps the most courageous, is to reach out. Depression thrives in isolation. Connection is its kryptonite. The thought of talking to someone can feel overwhelming. So start small. You don't have to bare your soul or explain everything. Just send a simple text to a trusted friend that says, thinking of you. Or make a quick call to a family member just to hear their voice. Tell one person one small, true thing, like I'm having a hard day. That tiny act of reaching out can break the suffocating spiral of loneliness. It can remind you that you are not invisible. Remember to watch your thoughts with gentle curiosity. Our thoughts are not always facts, especially when depression is whispering in our ear. A negative thought, like I am a burden, is a symptom of the illness, not an objective truth. When you notice these thoughts, try to test them with gentle questions. Is this thought 100% true? Is it helpful to think this way? What would I say to a dear friend who was having the same thought? Creating a little space between you and your thoughts can lessen their power and open the door to a more compassionate inner dialogue. Your safety is the most important thing. Call your local emergency services. Call a crisis hotline. Tell someone you trust what is happening. Let them help you. You do not have to go through a crisis alone. There are people trained and ready to support you through the darkest moments. Reaching out is not a sign of failure. It is an act of profound strength and courage. Your life is valuable. You are not alone in this. So many of us know this path. There are people who care about you and want to see you safe and well. please ask for help. Be relentlessly kind to yourself. Keep trying the small things one day at a time, one breath at a time. The fog will not last forever. There is hope, there is help, and there is a path back to the light. You can find your way again, one small, brave step at a time. You are worth the effort. Thank you for being here. Your presence matters. On this World Mental Health Day, we honor your courage, your steps, big, small, toward the light. If this brought you a little calm, consider subscribing, liking, sharing, so someone else can find a moment of ease too. Tap the bell to stay close to future gentle check-ins. Take with you the simple truths. You are not alone, and you are worth the effort. Happy World Mental Health Day. Be kind to your mind. Thank you for spending these moments with us. If this helped, please subscribe, tap the bell, share it with someone who might need a little light today. Leave a kind word in the comments. What's one small thing you'll try this week? Your voice might be the lifeline someone else hears. We'll be here with more calm check-ins soon. Until then, take care of your mind, breathe softly, remember you matter. Thank you for watching. I want to use this medium to say a happy World Mental Health Day. And to all my subscribers, I want to say a very big thank you. If you have not subscribed, ensure you do. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, families, colleagues, and every person you can think of. I'll see you soon.